Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Vimal Singh, and in this particular video we will be talking about application proxy. In last video we talked about enterprise application in Microsoft Entra ID. What would be the benefit, how we can integrate, how we can take care of the governance, security and monitoring. Now in this particular video, we'll see how we can connect our on-prem applications, which is already hosted in our on-prem servers, with the application proxy. Again, this video is divided in two parts, where in first part, we'll understand the architecture and the requirements. And in second part, we will explore practically by implementing this application proxy and access our on-prem application through application proxy. Let's get started. Let's recall the point how your applications are being managed in Microsoft Entra ID before jumping towards application proxy. So from this diagram that you can see, we have Microsoft Cloud applications integrated with Microsoft Entra ID. You have Cloud SaaS application, either from Microsoft or third parties, can be integrated with Microsoft Entra ID, and on-premises application can also be integrated at this place. When I say on-premises application, there would be multiple scenario. Right now, the scenario which I'm talking about, you have one application which is developed, hosted on a server, and that server is located in your data set, in your organization. There could be many reasons why these applications are being kept in on-premises. That's not our concern. Our concern is to integrate those applications which is already hosted and running from on-premises to Microsoft Entra ID. So we can achieve the benefit that we are getting with the help of this Entra ID, like governance, better authentication with MFA, conditional access, monitoring. So this is the place where we can think about application proxy. Now let's understand what exactly it is, how it works, and then practically we'll explore and test it. In this particular diagram, you can see this has been divided into two parts. The first part, left-hand side, you can see that has Microsoft Entra ID and application proxy service, which is hosted in Microsoft, managed by Microsoft. And on the right-hand side, you'll see there is web servers, which is hosted in your infrastructure. You have Active Directory for your authentication and authorization. Your application might be integrated at this place. And we have application proxy connector. You can call it connector, maybe agent. And this component is responsible to establish the communication between your web server, application proxy, and end user. So let's understand this entire workflow, how actually it works. You have implemented and configured all their components. Now, once everything is configured, the end user who is sitting anywhere will use that application proxy URL, or you can say the external URL of your application, because whenever you configure this, it configure one external URL for your application, and the user will be redirected to Microsoft Entra ID for their initial authentication. So user account must be there through which the user will get identified and authenticated initially at this place. Once that user successfully log in at this place, this Microsoft Entra ID sends a token to the user's device. Then the user will be redirected or sent to this application proxy service. So the token which you receive on a device, the device can send that to this application proxy. Now this application proxy will collect the user principal name, service principal name from the token that has been provided here and send that information to this application proxy connector. So in third step, user information got collected and forwarded to this proxy connector. Now this application proxy performs authentication on behalf of the user because they got the information about the user from there. And after that, this connector sends a request to the application. Once everything is correct at this place, now this web server will send the response to the connector, and through this application proxy service, the response will reach out to the end user and user will be able to access that application. We saw in previous diagram that we have a lot of dependency on connector component, and that is the reason it is highly recommended that you should have at least two connector so you can achieve fault tolerance, load balancing, and while configuring it, you can decide how the application will respond through which connector. The other important point is how which authentication protocol works at this place. We saw that the connector is sending the authentication request to your authenticators on behalf of a user. So here you can see by default for native application, Microsoft applications, integrated Windows authentication is there. But if I talk about non-Microsoft application, there we have header-based authentication, forms or password-based authentication, or you can also go with SAML authentication for single sign. So before jumping towards the implementation of this application proxy in our on-prem infrastructure, let's recall the point or the infrastructure architecture for application proxy. We already talked about it. So first, we have to enable and configure application proxy service on Microsoft Entra ID. Then we are going to install this application proxy connector in our on-prem infrastructure. We'll integrate and configure our application at this place, what application we are going to use, and that's it. After successful configuration, user will send a request, then the token will get issued to the client. Now the HTTP request will be sent for external endpoints, and from here your request will be forwarded to the connector, which will talk to application. Now it will get the response, and response will be delivered to the end user through this application proxy service. Let's go and implement it. Okay, so to test this application proxy, I logged in on a server where I already have internet information service that hosts my application. Here you can see I have one site called default website, and right now I'm going with this default website, which is default page of internet information service. In real world, definitely you will have your applications hosted at this place, and you can redirect there. So my application is up and running. Now I logged into Microsoft Entra and I want to integrate that application which is running in on-premises on my local server. To do that, I'll go to this Entra ID section. Here I'll go to this enterprise apps, and inside that enterprise app, you need to click on new application. There you will find on-premises application integrations, and it says add an on-premises application. For that, what you need to do? Microsoft Entra Application Proxy to enable secure remote access. Basically, it's a secure remote connection that allows your application to get integrated in your Entra ID. If I'll go to that place, here it says your private network is currently disabled for your tenant, so you cannot do that. To get it enabled, either you can download this private network connector, configure it, automatically it will get enabled, and you can download it directly from here. But in real world, there might be scenario this is already downloaded and configured for some other server or some other sites from the same Entra ID. In that case, you will not get this option here. For that, you need to go back to your application, and there you get something called private network connectors. If I go to this place, there you get this option called download connector service. You can download from here, and this is the right way to download your connector service. The moment you're configuring this connector service, you can define and keep it in a particular group, because you don't have any connector service right now. That's the reason connector group is not highlighted. It's grayed out. The moment you're configuring, by default, it creates one group and your connector service will be part of that group. Later, if you wish to change, yes, you can change it. Let's try to download. There are a few system requirements you need to keep in your mind, like you must have Windows Server 2012 R2 or later. And just by accepting the term and download button, you can download this application. Now the download has initiated and it's completed. To install this application, go to the download folder and double click it. Accept their license terms and conditions, then click on install. While installing, you need to register this service in your Entra ID, means your tenant. And for that, it will give you a pop-up where we can provide our credentials, who has the right to register this service in your Entra ID. In this scenario, I'm going to use this credential, my admin account, and its password. Let's sign in. Perfect. This application got installed. I mean, Entra Private Network Connector got installed successfully on your system. Let's close it and verify that application is up and running or not. To get it verified, we need to go to services.msc, and here you will find Microsoft Entra Private Network Connector and Microsoft Entra Private Network Connector Updater. Make sure these two services are up and running. As you can see, it is in running state. The second way to explore this information, we can go to Event Viewer. Inside that Event Viewer, expand this application and services logs. There you will find Microsoft. Inside that Microsoft, you will have Microsoft Entra Private Network. Go to connector and click on admin events. And there you will find all the events. The last event that we see here at this time, and it says Microsoft Entra Private Network Connector started successfully. No warning, no error, only information events we are getting, and that also successful. Once everything is in place, now we'll go back to our Entra ID portal. And if I'll go back once again to the private network connectors, here you will find this. And you can also check the status of this connector. Right now, the connector is installed on this particular server with this IP and a status. As I already mentioned, this connector is part of this default group. The moment you create first time, automatically it creates one default group. And if you see, the default group name is what? The country, the name is default, and country and region is not North America. If you wish to create any other group, you can. This is good in a scenario if you have your application hosted in different location and different country. you must specify the respective groups. And you can see, as per your location, for example, you kept your application in Asia location, must create one connector group from this location. It will provide you the better communication, low latency. For example, let's create one group, Asia group, and we can pick our connector while creating this group, or let's create for now. So you can see we got another group created. If I want to switch or move any existing connector from one group to another group, in that case, we need to click on that connector, and inside their properties, you have this option called connector group. If you click on drop down, you will find the other group and all the groups which is listed in your tenant. So you can easily switch from here to there. Now you can configure your application directly this particular place, or you can go to all applications, click on new application, go back once again to add on-premises application, and then you can give a name for your application. For example, test proxy app. And here you must provide your internal URL, whatever the URL that you use to access your application locally. In our case, we have installed our Internet Information Service going with default page, which is running on the same server. So we'll provide the localhost URL, for example, http://localhost. And this is your external URL, whatever the end users will use to reach out to this internal application. As currently we are using Microsoft Proxy service, so by default, Microsoft provides you one public URL that ends with MS-Proxynet. You can also integrate it with your Entra ID URL. That is again coming from Microsoft side, but it's not mandatory. You can go with this predefined or publicly offered Microsoft URLs or address. You can customize it by adding your domain in your tenant. If you're doing so, in that case, you must provide your SSL certificate, so that namespace will get binded with this SSL certificate, so you can access it over HTTPS. While accessing it, there we need to define pre-authentication. So whoever is going to access this URL, first, they must authenticate themselves with Microsoft Entra ID. And as we discuss their workflow, accordingly, the authentication would take place. Currently, my connector is part of this connector group. So make sure right connector group is selected at this place. Once everything is in place, you defined, you need to click on create. But before that, as you can see, there is one information button that tells you you should have more than one connector in your organization just to achieve fault tolerance and high availability. So if you want to create more than one, this is the place from where you can download this connector and configure in your system. Let's create it for now. Okay, so private network setting is successfully configured. Now, if I'll go back to my enterprise application, you will see your application test proxy app. This is what we created, and that's their home page URL. Now, if I'll go inside it, we must allow the users who can access this application. Same approach, the way we are managing this enterprise application. Now that application, which is hosted in your on-premises, is coming in your Entra ID as enterprise application, so we can get a benefit of all the features that we have in Entra ID, like single sign-on, provisioning, user and groups control, and towards security, we have conditional access, permission, token encryption. We can monitor their users and everything at this place. We have already discussed about all these points, so let's focus on application proxy because we are accessing it through the application proxy. So we got one additional management option called application proxy. Let's go inside, and this is a URL that we need to share with the end users. As I mentioned, we need to allow the users to access this application. So we'll come to this user and group section, and we will add the users or groups to whom I want to allow this application. Let's allow and give the permission to Alex, maybe administrator also. Let's assign it. Now I'll copy the address, go to in private, paste and go. Here we need to provide the credential of that user who has the right to access this application. That's my user, and this is the password of that user. Let's sign in. Oh, something went wrong. Let me check my password. Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, that's the correct one. Let's sign in. And here we got this application. As we try to access the local host, we can cross check by going to this. Here you can see we are accessing from the local host, and this is our local host, which is running from here. So this proxy is taking you to this particular place, and we are able to see our application through the proxy. So I hope you got an idea what exactly application proxy is, their architecture, and implementation. So thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. See you next